Hello friends, welcome back to this third episode and the concluding episode of this three-part series of three phases of Indian economy. My name is Hitesh Shah and I am a wealth coach. I run a company called DHS True Wealth Management Consultancy Private Limited. We are into business of financial planning, investments and insurance services. So I just make a quick recap on what we did in the part 1 and the part 2. Part 1 we just got to know that there are three phases of Indian economy. First phase is 1947 to 1991. In this phase, people didn't have enough money and didn't generate much purchasing power, so they didn't invest anywhere because the economy was not growing. And in the second part, in the second phase in 1991, Manmohan Singh brought in a historic budget and he opened up the economy to the world, and economy growth happened, business growth happened, income growth happened, and business profit happened, and salary growth also happened. So in this, people started generating surplus income and people started having that kind of purchasing power where they can invest in certain type of assets. But there was also a parallel economy which was going on in the second phase, which was the economy of black money. So people also invested through black money. So the pattern of investment was as per the availability of the black money or availability of the white money. So the pattern changed as per the availability of the type of money one person had. So in that the purchasing power was good, so that is why a lot of assets, people invested in a lot of assets. In the third phase, that is 8th November 2016, Modi ji brought in demonetization, and 1,500 denomination notes were withdrawn to kill the black money, to have the black economy totally wiped out from the country and have a pure transparent white economy. So he wanted to do that, and because of that he brought in GST, and he also brought in some stringent laws and tax laws and good tax governance. So that was the first part story, and the second part story was where did people invest in this first, second and third phase. In the first phase, people didn't invest much because there was no economic growth and people didn't have enough money to invest. In the second phase, people started generating more money because of good economic growth, and people basically invested in two assets. One type of asset was physical assets, and second type of asset was financial assets. In physical assets, people mainly invested in property, and people invested in gold. Why it was more popular and more best investment option? Because there was availability of black money. Prices were very low, and people could afford to buy at very good rates, and that too with black money combination and white money combination. People didn't invest much in the financial assets, but in financial asset first type, which was connected to the repo rate, like the FDs and the PPF and post office and bonds, all these were in double digit because the repo rate was in double digit. So people invested more into that as well as in the financial asset kind. But not much came into capital market because people were not much educated. People didn't got to know much about the stock market, the capital market, the mutual fund. The volume was very low, and the lowest volume was in the third asset, which was Life Insurance Corporation of India, where the people didn't want to invest for long terms, and people didn't want low returns or at par returns. They wanted higher returns. And at that point of time, LIC was considered as a very last avenue to invest money into. In the third phase, people started investing in financial market, because property market and gold market, people could not invest much because the prices were already high, and people cannot people didn't have black money, so there was no options left to invest in financial markets, and more money and maximum money came into financial markets, that is into less into repo rate based instruments, which is FDs and all, but maximum investment came into financial markets. capital markets, and that was how the stock market went up. People invested in stock market, people invested heavily into SIPs and mutual funds and all those kind of instruments. And there was this third type of asset which was gradually emerging as the best avenue to invest money. That was Life Insurance Corporation of India. So this was the story of the second part. So let us start with the third part, where people should invest or where people will invest. So let us start with the physical assets, the property. Now in 1991-1992, when we were looking for a property around Villeparle, which was available for around 12 to 13 lakh rupees, and the same property which was current rate is around 2.5 crores. So it is a 20 times growth. That was an exponential growth. So that is the best phase was to invest in the second phase. The best investment was property and gold, because property went 20 times up. Now if you see like today's level, property is at 2.5 crore for the same flat. So why one should not invest in property as of now, though it went up 20 times? So there are few reasons which I would want to tell and share to you. One, the property rates are already peaked. Now 2.5 crore is not going to go to 7.5 crores or 15 crores from now onwards, because the property rates have already peaked, and people would not want to invest such a huge amount of investment, because the probability of going up is very, very less. So there are other various reasons where the property prices will not go up as much as it has gone in the last 10 years or 20 years or 30 years. But it will be gradually growing up, giving you a single digit growth of around 5 to 6%. Secondly, the prices won't go up because there is no black money now. So there is absolute transparent rates which are there. People will invest, only genuine buyers will invest. There will be not much demand to the property market, because only genuine buyers will have, and those people who have white money. There was a report of Frank Knight. This is an international property broking firm, whereas they sell and buy properties for the affluent and the HNIs and the celebrities here in India. And they had reported in their study was the gap between the demand and supply of property in India, especially in Mumbai, is going to be widening over a period of time. So there is more supply and there is less demand due to a couple of factors. The third factor being the RERA Act. RERA Act is, what is RERA Act? RERA Act is Real Estate Regulation Act. This came into effect, and it took by surprise to all the builders, because the builders were overnight governed by this act, because they had that monopoly of not giving the full possession of the flat, and delaying their building and delaying their possession. And they were also using up marketing more space and giving less space, and all those things happened. But because of RERA, all these restrictions and all this manipulation went away, and builder is taken to task. They will be put behind bars, or they will have to pay heavy penalty in case any of this things are performed by them. So RERA Act, it became a buyer's market. Buyers could quote the terms and condition, and buyers could quote their own prices. So this was one of the reason, and this is going to be the reason of that the market will be in check. It will never have that kind of exponential growth. The fourth reason being, there is the interest rates still are high in India for buying property. Now people who are earlier buying in the second phase, they were buying thinking that they will buy on EMI, and EMI will be compensated by giving the property on rent. But as of now, the EMI is more, and the rent which is going to be there, it's almost at par. So it is nothing but just not getting any kind of return. The maximum return one can get after deduction of all maintenance and everything is approximately 2 to 3%. For a 5 crore property, you are getting 2 or 3% returns, which is absolutely negligible. Appreciation is not happening and returns are not that great. So this is one of the reasons that property prices would not go up. People are not buying for renting it out or for appreciation. So there is no demand as such. And the last reason is taxation. Taxation, that is, whenever you sell your property, it is giving you have to pay 20% long-term capital gain, or you buy another property to save that tax, or if you don't buy a property, you pay the different amount, that is the profitable amount, into some kind of 54EB bonds, so that you can save long-term capital gains, but that again is blocking your money at a very low cost. So all these reasons, property prices are not going to grow up and not go up, and exponential growth is not seen at all. So one should unlock their property, or one should, if intend to invest more into properties, they should not be doing so. They should be doing so and putting their money, or make fresh investment in financial assets. Now, where to make, how to make, what one needs to do to invest in this instrument. So they should divide their investments into financial assets in 3 parts. So 33% should go into fixed deposit. It's in the repo rate, the RBI rates, though it is less, but it is giving you liquidity, it is giving you security, it is also giving you some kind of emergency fund which one should be looking at. That is, the 33% should go. So if one is investing 1 crore rupees, 33 lakhs should be going into repo rate based financial asset, that is fixed deposits. 33% should go into capital market, that is in systematic withdrawal plan in mutual funds, whereas you can get a continuous income as the market grows. You need to keep on withdrawing money from the markets, and you get to use that money. And the third and the most important 33 lakhs should go into life insurance corporation pension funds. There are some pension funds which are taxable, there are some pension funds which are not taxable, and it gives a guaranteed return for rest of your life, ensuring that you have that kind of capital guarantee also, and you are blocking the current interest rate for rest of your life. The repo rate is going to go down over a period of time as the economy grows, as I told you earlier, markets, and you get to use that money. And the third and the most important 33 lakhs should go into life insurance corporation pension funds. There are some pension funds which are taxable, there are some pension funds which are not taxable, and it gives a guaranteed return for rest of your life, ensuring that you have that kind of capital guarantee also, and you are blocking the current interest rate for rest of your life. The repo rate is going to go down over a period of time as the economy grows, as I told you earlier also. As the economy grows, the repo rate keeps on going down. Currently the repo rate is at 4%, and it may go to around 3.5% looking at the current scenario because of the lockdown and the COVID period. Government will come down with some measures to give some kind of relief to the business owners who had borrowed money, so they would get the interest rates will go down, so that they can borrow the money at a very low rate and cover up all their losses. So friends, these are the 3 ways one should be investing, unlocking their money from property and investing in this. The second type of physical asset one should not be investing is gold. So why gold is no more as attractive as it was in 2090s and 20s. In 1970 the gold price were 184 rupees per 10 gram. In 1990 the gold price became 3,000. In 2020 the gold price is 45,000. Exponential growth of 15 times in last 30 years is the gold returns gave. But it is not going to go to 1 lakh rupees or 1.5 lakh rupees in the next 5, 10 years, 15 years from now. It may go to around 10 to 20% maximum. So gold is not as much as it should. There is again the similarity between property. The reason not going so much up is again there is no black money. The prices are too high. Gold is no more in trend. People don't wear gold ornaments so much nowadays. People invest in I can say imitation jewelry and all kind of things. They invest more into other technological gadgets and electronic gadgets, where they get that kind of status, that kind of status to them. So the gold is no more trending. Gold is not as much as it was once upon a time. So you can unlock your gold, or you should not be buying fresh gold and putting into financial markets. Same way, the three portions. Gold should be only bought on auspicious occasions or for some kind of good luck, like Dhanteras, and today being Akshay Tritiya. One should buy gold, but on a auspicious good luck only, and a very small quantity, just to have prosperity in our life. So this was one of the reason. Another reason of being switching to financial market was someone asked me, like, what is the registered vehicles? Now registered vehicles are those vehicles which, people used to invest a lot of money into vehicles, but vehicles are a depreciating asset. It is not an appreciating asset. So one should not be investing in vehicles, though it is now earlier we used to have one car in a house, and now we are having as many people who knows driving, they have their own personal cars. But people should not investing in much cars, because it is a depreciating asset. So another financial so what are the financial assets which one should be investing? As I told you, first, only that portion of emergency fund should be invested into the repo rate based instrument. What happened is, once this market was taking into consideration the economic growth of India and economic growth all over the world, the markets moved accordingly. Now, because it was risky, because it is too volatile, the markets have 3 P's. What are these 3 P's? The 3 P's are: profit making happens in the market, panic selling happens in the market, and purchase happens in the market. So when does profit selling happen? When the market goes up, the people keep on booking their profit, so that to earn money from the market. When there is a crash, when the market is consistently sliding down, people panic and they do panic selling. That is what happened in this COVID and lockdown period. Market went from 42,000 to 28,000, almost 27,000. That was a crash in the market by around 30%. So panic selling happens, and purchase also happens. Market, when it goes down or up and it steadies up, then people start purchasing also. So these are 3 P's which happen in the capital market. Now this capital market gives you the best returns, but one should be investing in short term, because the volatility is there, the ups and downs happen. So people should be investing in equities, but this is the best mode of investment, because it gives you double-digit returns. And the third and the last asset class which one should be investing is Life Insurance Corporation of India. This is one of the most emerging class which is there currently, and a lot of money has been coming here, because LIC has given consistent returns since last 30 to 40 years. And there are reasons why one should be investing, because first and foremost is capital guarantee. Second, it is giving you tax-free returns in certain schemes. Third, it is going to ensure that all the sure events are being taken care of. And what are those sure events taken care of? Those are retirement, children's education, children's marriage. These are the sure events, and people who are investing in long term, definitely sure events will be taken care of. And the third and the other reason is, there is a guaranteed of capital, there is guaranteed returns also, and all this has made LIC a very safe bet. And LIC being sovereign guarantee of Government of India, people keep on investing, and it has started growing up over a period of time. People are putting now money into it. So you have that kind of long-term investment should be putting it into Life Insurance Corporation of India. There are many such good avenues, or you can say their pension plans and their guaranteed return plans are absolutely great, and people are started putting a lot of money into this. So to balance it out, the equity market, the capital market, and the Life Insurance Corporation, one should be investing in such a way that they are taking care of their long-term financial goals and short-term financial goals also. So this was it, friends. Thank you so much for hearing me out for all these 3 days, and I am sure that you must have liked it. I have added some value to your knowledge, and I will bring many more good topics and interesting topic to be discussed, and I would love to share all those knowledge with you and educate you. Thank you so much. Stay safe, stay healthy, stay home. God bless you. Thank you very much.